Welcome back to F1 Inlap. All weekend it's been Ferrari setting the one-lap benchmark, first Leclerc, then Hamilton. But final practice just rewrote the running order. McLaren's upgrade has finally clicked and Lando Norris has hit the front when it matters most, hours before qualifying. And it is desperately close. The top three split by barely a tenth, three different teams with Mercedes and Red Bull lurking right behind. Lance Stroll is back in the second Aston after this morning's repairs, so both upgraded cars are on track at last. This is the last hour of data before it all counts, so let's read the tea leaves and call this one. Let's take a look. So what did each garage actually come here to answer? McLaren arrived admitting they'd been a couple of months behind on development, and this weekend they finally bolted on that long-awaited floor package. Ferrari meanwhile had set the benchmark in both Friday sessions, so they came in as the team to beat. And remember the title picture behind all this. Kimi Antonelli leads the drivers on 204 points, with Hamilton and Russell scrapping over second, while Norris sits fifth, despite McLaren being third in the constructors. So McLaren had everything to prove, and in the last hour before it counts, they delivered. But before we read the lap times, look at the forecast, because it changes how you judge everything. Qualifying comes in at around 28 degrees and fully overcast. No rain in sight, so cool and clean, kind on the tyres. The race is a different animal. 33 degrees, clear skies, and a track that's been baking at over 50 degrees. That's genuinely hot, and it pushes the tyres to the top of their operating window, so thermal degradation spikes, and anyone rough on their rears will simply cook them. Manage the heat on Sunday and you win. Fail to and you fall out of the window. Now the timesheet, and it is ridiculously tight. Norris on top with a 117.9, Hamilton just 117 thousandths back, and Antonelli third, only a tenth and a bit off the lead. Three different teams inside a fraction. The whole top seven fell within 7/10, with Leclerc fourth, Piastri fifth, Russell a worrying 6/10 adrift in sixth, and Verstappen seventh. Two names to note in the margins. Sergio Perez had a brake fire at turn one and sat out the rest of the session, and Arvid Lindblad managed just 6 laps after a power unit change. So who's really quick and who just nailed one glory lap? For that, you go to the cleanest comparison there is. Teammates share the same car, so the gap between them tells you who's on it and who isn't. At Haas, Ocon edged Behrman by 17 thousandths, basically dead level, a proper benchmark battle. But the eye-catching one is Ferrari. Leclerc was over 2/10 behind Hamilton this session, and given those two are usually nose-to-nose, that's a real reversal worth watching. At Mercedes, Antonelli had nearly half a second on Russell, which explains that FP3 deficit, and even Norris had Piastri covered by almost half a second, so McLaren's headline pace is very much the Norris show right now. Before the verdict, let's check in on the weekend's big upgrade story, Aston Martin's 16-part B-spec. Both cars finally ran a full session, Stroll back after his Friday shunt, and here's the encouraging bit. Their gap to the fastest lap was 3.15%, the smallest FP3 deficit they've posted all season. The reshaped floor and diffuser show up best in the middle sector, but be honest about the rest. They're still on the last two rows, around 2.5 seconds off, and dead last on top speed, so the straight line is a clear weakness. And with practice fuel loads hidden, this is promising, not proof. Newey himself called it just the first step, so who's on pole? Honestly, this is a coin flip, and don't let one session fool you. Yes, Norris topped it, but Ferrari have been the one-lap benchmark all weekend. They led FP1 and FP2, and Hamilton was right there in second again. That consistency makes Ferrari at least co-favourite, and I'd lean Hamilton or Norris for pole, with Antonelli the dark horse, given Mercedes looks strong at the sharp end, even with Russell off the pace. It genuinely could go three ways. That's the story of final practice at the Hungaroring. 3 teams, 1/10, everything to play for. But what's your call for pole? Drop it in the comments. If you enjoyed this, smash the like and hit subscribe. New analysis drops after every session.